Perek Gimel, third Mishnah Beitzah, Perek Bet, third chapter, second Mishnah. Okay. New subject, Bi'ur Mishnah Bet, explanation from Mishnah Bet. כבר ביארנו בפתיחה למסכתנו. So we already covered the rules. So for those of you who went here, you're going to cover the rule again. שאין אוכלים ביום טוב, אלה דברים המוכנים לאכילה מערב יום טוב. It says on Yom Tov you're allowed to cook, you're allowed to shecht, you're allowed to do anything that has to do with food. But the things have to be prepared. They have to be in your possession. In other words, you have to know about it before Yom Tov comes. What does that mean? אבל דברים שאינם מוכנים לאכילה מערב יום טוב, things that are not prepared to be eaten in just before Yom Tov, הרי הם מוקצה. They are out of your mind. מוקצה means you didn't think about it. Things you didn't think about of use, you're not allowed to touch even. ואסורים ביום טוב, and therefore these things are going to be prohibited in Yom Tov, even though they're food. So for example, if you've got a store, and you've got apples in the store that you sell in the market, and you didn't think about eating it in your home, these apples, even though it's a Yom Tov, you're not allowed to go and take these apples. Because in your mind, these apples were for sell in the market and not in your home. If you thought, I might eat from them, only then you're allowed to eat from them on Yom Tov. That's an example. ואסורים ביום טוב בין באכילה בין בטלטול. Therefore, you're not even allowed to touch them. Never mind eating them. משנתנו דנה בדבר שהוא ספק מוכן. We are going to deal with something that we're not sure if it's ready. It's in between. Maybe it was ready before Yom Tov. Maybe it wasn't ready before Yom Tov. Now, and we don't know what it is. If it's something for sure is not prepared, we know you cannot use it. But something we're not sure. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Maybe you're allowed to. So that's what we're going to deal with it. Let's see. מצודת חיה ועוף ודגים. A person put a net in a river, for example, to catch animals, or he put to catch fish, or he put it to catch doves, or whatever, any trap. שעשאן מערב יום טוב. He put them before Yom Tov. He put those traps. Yeah, any trap, any net, whatever it was. מלכודות לחיות ולעופות. This is like traps for animals or to birds, or רשתות לצדגים, or nets for the fishing of fish. שפרסן בערב יום טוב. He put them before Yom Tov. לא ייטול מהם ביום טוב. It says you're not allowed to take animals from them in Yom Tov. You're allowed to go and take your sheep that's in the yard. Because your sheep, you knew about it before Yom Tov, and you're thinking about it as food. Today people don't think about their sheep as food, but in the old time, they're thinking about it as food. Yeah? So you're allowed to take it. But over here, you didn't even know it existed yesterday. It wasn't in the trap. So therefore, even though you did catch a fish, or even though you did catch a bird, and it's a kosher bird, you're not allowed to shecht it because you didn't even know about it. אלא אם כן יודע שניצודו מערב יום טוב. It says, how can you take? If you saw the net getting sprung before Yom Tov, and you come on Yom Tov to take the animal that was caught before Yom Tov, then you'll be allowed to. Because when you saw it, the net getting sprung, you thought, oh, I've got something for me for tomorrow to eat. But if it was, you didn't see it get sprung, you don't know if it happened yesterday, or it happened today, since you didn't have it in mind, that's it. You cannot eat it. You can't even touch it. שהוא מוכן בוודאי מערב יום טוב. It needs to be for sure under your possession before the Yom Tov comes in. In other words, the moment the Yom Tov comes in, you have to think, I know that this is, I can eat it.
So just for example, if I put a trap before Yom Tov, and I wake up in the morning in the Yom Tov, and I'm thinking, well, I hope I got something, and I go there and I get, at night you can.
Nothing. Because you didn't think about that specific thing.
This particular animal, I didn't see it before.
You don't have to see it. You have to know that it's there.
Once it's not there, that's it.
That's it. אבל אם אינו יודע שניצודו מערב יום טוב, but if you're not sure that they were captured already before Yom Tov came in, אסור ליטול מהם ביום טוב. You're not allowed to take them ביום טוב. By the way, the reason why we're talking about Yom Tov and we don't talk about Shabbos, because Shabbos for sure you're allowed to touch it. It's muktzah, you're allowed to prepare food on Shabbos. On Yom Tov, you're allowed to prepare food so you can touch it. Yeah? But it's the same idea as for Shabbos, just so you know. And here's the rule. You don't know. The trap might have caught it before Yom Tov, or it might have caught it after Yom Tov. You're not sure. And the rule is, safek mukhan, you have doubt if it was before or after it was caught, asur, it is forbidden. Rabban Gamliel says, I disagree. He says, safek, when you have doubts, mutar, it is permitted, he permits it. Besafek mukhan. He says, I don't know. If I don't know, it is permitted, he says. כך מובא בגמרא, שיש להוסיף פסקה זו במשנתנו. Okay? So this is the way it's brought in the Gemara. What is...
So does that mean that, let's say that I put it 2 minutes before the Yom Tov.
Mm-hmm.
So it couldn't be before the Yom Tov because it's 2 minutes, the trap is door and I'm going to stand there and see the Yom Tov come in and then I go home. I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning, I have an animal in the cage.
Then for sure...
I know that for sure it was in the Yom Tov.
Then for sure you can't use it, 100%.
Why? Because he said here, you don't know exactly when it was...
No, the doubt is you don't know if it was caught on a Chol or on a Yom Tov.
Right.
But over here you know for sure it was caught on a Yom Tov. When the Yom Tov came in, you didn't have it in mind, therefore it's muktzah. That's 100%. Yeah, but he, in his example, you're standing there until Yom Tov came in. So you know it didn't catch before Yom Tov.
Yeah, you know for sure it is no test effect here.
Yeah. If you don't know, if you went back home, then it's a suffix, it's a doubt. You don't know where it caught before or after. So we're going to, what is that? Asur. Rabban Gamliel says it is permitted. Rabban Gamliel says if you put it at noon and you came the next day on Yom Tov at noon and you saw there's an animal there, Rabban Gamliel says, you don't know. Maybe it was caught yesterday. Maybe it was caught today. In such a case, when you don't know, you have a doubt, I allow you to take. That's Rabban Gamliel. And then we have an example that he brings. Maaseh ben nochri echad. We have a case of somebody who was not Jewish, שהביא דגים לרבן גמליאל. He saw Rabban Gamliel, he liked him, whatever the case was. He says, Rabban Gamliel, here, this is Yom Tov, I have a fish for you, take. Now the question is, can he take it from the guy? Let's see. B'Yom Tov. And the case was, ולא ידעו אם ניצודו מאתמול ומהיום. The non-Jew didn't know. It says, look, I put my net in the river, I put it yesterday. And today I took it out. It's a fresh fish today. But I don't know when it was caught. Could have been caught yesterday. Could have been caught today. I don't know. So Rabban Gamliel says, if you don't know, it's permitted. It's possible that it was caught when? Yesterday. Therefore it's permitted. ואמר רבן גמליאל מותרין הן. Rabban Gamliel says they are permitted. In other halacha, you're allowed to eat from this fish. הדגים שספק מוכן מותר. Because according to him, according to the sages, it's forbidden. According to Rabban Gamliel, he's very lenient. He says, if you're not sure, you're still allowed to. But he continued, אלא שאין רצוני לקבל ממנו. It says, you're allowed to take, halachically, but I don't want to take it. But he says it, look, it says, it doesn't say שאין רצוני לקחת. It says, I don't want to take it from him. It looks like there's a problem with the guy. Let's see what happens. יש מפרשים, there are those who explains, שלא רצה לקבל ממנו. He didn't want to receive from this specific guy. Why? מפני שהיה שונא, because he didn't like him. They just didn't like this guy. Not because he wasn't allowed to. He didn't want to do business with him. ויש מפרשים, מפני שרצה להחמיר על עצמו. There are those who says, no, it's not just him specifically. It's overall on this area. He says, even though you're allowed to, I'll rather stay away from it. I don't have to. He wanted to be stringent on himself, not on halacha. יש מבארים לפי דעה אחרת שבגמרא, there are those who explain, שאף רבן גמליאל לא התיר את הדגים באכילה, אלא בטלטול בלבד. That even Rabban Gamliel, he didn't permit you to actually prepare it for food, but he said you're allowed to touch it. Okay. ואין הלכה כרבן גמליאל, but for our definition, it's never permitted. In other words, you have to know for sure that it was in the trap before Yom Tov. When Yom Tov came in, you had to think about the animal as food. If when Yom Tov came in, you didn't have in mind that this animal is food, you're not allowed to eat it on Yom Tov. You're not allowed to prepare it on Yom Tov.